Hi, I'm Joanie Marx, a three-time international best-selling author and the creator of 3 new online courses for udemy.com. And this video is a companion to my new article for 60andMe entitled How to Stop Bargaining with Your Emotional Baggage. And this video actually is the third of a 4-part series where we talk about how to release the burden of our emotional baggage after 60. And in this video, we are going to see why we start bargaining with our emotional baggage after a serious life crisis and how to stop doing that. What prompts you to look in your metaphorical suitcase at this stage of your life? Also, what is it that keeps you from unpacking your emotional baggage after 60? The answer to both questions is the same: a life crisis. Specifically, a life crisis related to unexpected changes in relationships, health, or your finances. The process of a life crisis prompting you to unpack specific contents of your emotional baggage repeats itself many times throughout your life. Each experience, however, is unique. One of the reasons that each of these episodes to unpack your emotional baggage are so unique is that in the interim, you stuff more things in there. And so let's look now at what are all these things that you stuffed in there. By things, I mean the more unhealed and repressed emotions remain in your emotional baggage. The more things you see in the world that trigger angst, anxiety, fear, and various degrees of unworthiness. For those of us over 60, it makes it increasingly more difficult to sort through the contents because the root cause of your life struggles have now become further buried. It took me many years to see the evidence of this repetitive cycle in my own life. What helped me was when I began the research for my first 2 books. That's when I came to see that I was not alone in all of this, and neither are you. I began to recognize through my research 2 very specific patterns of how women and men over 60 handle their emotional baggage. These patterns shed light on why a life crisis was not only the primary reason people avoid their emotional baggage, but also why they bargain with the contents. One is resistance to change, and the second is because of an overly active life. In my next article and video, I'm going to examine how an overly active life affects what's in your emotional baggage. But for now, let's look at how resistance is affected when you go to look at your emotional baggage. With each new stage of life, we have 2 choices: embrace the changes occurring in and around us, or resist them. Change is an immutable law of life. We know this, yet somehow we try to bargain with change as if we can somehow thwart its inevitability. When a life crisis unexpectedly shows up, it gives rise to an inner awareness that reverberates through specific contents of your emotional baggage. These agitated contents symbolize the specific nature of changes in your life that you have been resisting. Change, and even the nature of the life crisis, is different for each one of us, but there are many similarities that we can look at to help us. The more you resist the changes in life you fear, the more stressful life becomes. Finally, a breaking point is reached where some form of a life crisis occurs. The specific nature of it may appear random on the surface, but it is not. In these moments, you are forced to look at the contents of your emotional baggage. Whether you unpack the contents is something else altogether. To help you get ahead of possible future crises and to integrate what we've talked about today, I like next to go through 3 journal prompts and 1 super inspiring action item. Create some time after this video to journal your answers to the following. As you become clear with what contents you have bargained with, identify and then write out which limiting beliefs and/or unhealed traumatic experiences create these contents. How often have you found yourself listening to your inner critic and being steered away from these contents? What does your inner critic say to you, and how does it manipulate your experiences with your emotional baggage? Create some time to really consider the following and then journal about it. What areas of your life are being negatively affected with these unpacked contents? Please be as specific as you can. Then allow yourself to feel into what this is going to do to your overall well-being. Now imagine how your life would vastly improve by removing these contents and healing their effects. Be as specific as you can. Then allow yourself to feel into how amazing your life would be if you got ahead of a life crisis by unpacking the contents of your emotional baggage. Now, by expressing appreciation to yourself for what it is you have unpacked in your emotional baggage, it will empower you to today start by unpacking more things. And thank you for watching this video. And for more information, please take a look at my online courses on udemy.com. And if you haven't read the article on 60andMe, please take a time to do that. And I so look forward to seeing you for my next video. And remember, until we meet again, every morning, look into your mirror and smile at yourself and say, I am my own best friend, for I came into this world to be myself. For that I came. And thank you and all my best.